One more thought on whether we're winning or not. We're certainly in better position against the globalists than we were 2 years ago. Everybody's talking about the New World Order and world government and how they don't want it. So whether they succeed in this phase or not, it's better to keep building against them and being positive and pointing out the ground that we've gained. And along those lines, we now have the holiday specials we're releasing that we do every year, special deals that also fund our operation, if you believe what we're doing here, that we only have until Christmas. In fact, we're going to stop having these right at Christmas or right before Christmas. Right now, you can get, and this is only going for the next month, right now you can get Fall of the Republic for $19.95, the 2-hour, 24-minute powerhouse, and get a free Obama fascism, Obama New World Order, Obama socialism Joker shirt. Free. Okay, and these shirts cost us about $5.50 to make. So, I mean, literally, this is a great, great discount. A free T-shirt in black or white with all the different variants. Free, running for the next month. Free at Infowars.com, or tell them you want the Fall of the Republic free Obama Joker shirt combo. And it may end sooner. We have a limited amount of these. I'm not reprinting them. I wasn't sure how many we had, so I pulled them off a few weeks ago before this special. When these are gone, it's gone. So it may be gone even sooner. Infowars.com, and your purchase also supports us. Then when you walk around with an Obama fascism shirt, Obama socialism, it's all command and control. Obama New World Order, Obama Infowars.com shirt. Don't be a suckers on the back. It really wakes people up. We have some other specials as well where we discount the videos with a free Obama shirt. There's a whole bunch of different specials. And here's the last special. Loose Change Final Cut. Loose Change Final Cut. Forget spindles. We have them in the color cover package, the high-quality disc, for $5 a piece. So you can buy 4 of these. You can buy them individually if you want. Buy 4 of these and give them to your family and wake them up about 9/11. You may know all about 9/11 being an inside job, but this is really the definitive film of the Loose Change films. $5 a piece. Loose Change Final Cut. Infowars.com. $5 a piece, ladies and gentlemen. We just want to get these out to the people. Feel free to make copies of Fall of the Republic, Endgame, Terror Storm, all of them at Infowars.com. You can, of course, see all the films online in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv. And through Christmas, we're running 5 months free right now at prisonplanet.tv. You can also go to theinternationalforecaster.com and get a free issue. It comes out twice a week. Tomorrow, the new one's coming out. So be sure and do that with our guest, Bob Chapman. Okay, Bob, I'm going to try to sit back and shut up now because I have a lot of questions for you. Get into where you see the economy going, the real 20% unemployment, where Obama's going, the health care bill, all of it. Bob Chapman.
Well, first of all, the economy. If they do not have a stimulus package additional next year and the banks don't loosen up making loans, and 90% of their loans go to small and medium-sized businesses, and those loans have dropped 16.2% year on year. If they do not have stimulus and they don't have increase in loans to the tune of about $1.4 trillion, $1.6 trillion, somewhere in there, then the economy is going to start to swoon again. And that means that the Fed will be the last bastion of trying to keep the undertow of deflation under control by creating money and credit. And they'll always overcreate, and you can't blame them for that because they want it to be successful. And so consequently, number one, with no stimulus, we will probably see unemployment grow next year to 24-25% from 22.2%. And John Williams has it at 22.1%, so we're on the same page on that. And that will extend further out into the following year, which will be 2011, and it'll get worse. And I would imagine without the stimulus and without increased lending that we'd be going to 25, then to 30 to 35%. And if they do have the stimulus, and that will allow unemployment to stay somewhere between 22 and 23%. And that'll last about another year. So we'll say a year from June, the effects of that will help. But what they're faced with, and of course that would include the increase in loans as well, but what we're faced with here is it's not solving the problem. And the problem is we've got to get rid of the dead wood. We've got to get rid of all of the bankrupt banks and insurance companies and brokerage firms and other corporate entities. They have to be allowed to fail under our system. All of this will continue to put pressure on the dollar. I think before the end of the year, the dollar will, on the USDX, test 71.18 or somewhere between 71 and 72. It'll rally back to 76 or 78, go back down and test again and break, because they have no intention of saving the dollar. They stand up there and say, we want a strong dollar. They don't mean that. They want the dollar weak because it makes them more competitive, and it'll give them maybe 0.5 of 1% or 1% of increased GDP by having the dollar at a lower level.
And they've now reversed the carry trade, but you just dropped that bombshell. You're saying, from the way I heard it, sometime next year they're going to let the dollar completely slide. How low?
Well, on the USDX, which is 75.50 approximately right now, down from 89.5 not too long ago, beginning of May. I think that during the second quarter of next year, that the dollar will break down. And first it's 65.60, 55.50, and it could go to 40. And so about a 50% retraction from where we are now in the value and purchasing power of the dollar. And of course, in the meantime, they're gonna be planning to have another Smithsonian type meeting, like the Plaza Accord in '85, the Louvre Accord in '87. And what that means is all the countries are going to get together, and they're going to revalue and devalue all the currencies against one another. And they're also, between countries, going to write off 2/3 of the debt, just like they did in the experiment in Argentina in 1999-2000.
Okay, let's explain what that will do to Main Street and to real estate, starting with, let's say somebody's got a $500,000 house. Inflation would actually be good for them paying it off, except that we're going to have a depression in Main Street. So you've got rising prices, but it's harder to actually make the money. Will the federal government try to go in, wave a magic wand, and when you have a devaluation of the currency, then boost the price of the loans on the houses? So will a $500,000 house note now go to $1 million? Or, I mean, how is that going to work?
Well, I don't think anybody knows outside of the insiders. And what my guess is, logically, if the dollar is devalued, 3 old ones for 1 new one, and I think that's a good perspective. I think it could be close to that. Then one would assume that a $100,000 mortgage would become a $33,000 mortgage. The man who's making $100,000 a year would start making $33,000 a year. The people who have retirement and Social Security, instead of getting $1,000 a month, they get $330 a month. That would be logic. But if these people behind the scenes want to bust everybody, they would keep it up the other level, and everybody would be broke. And then they have everybody running around with pitchforks. Only nowadays we have better weapons than pitchforks. But that's the logical sequence of event, the way it should happen.
Well, here's the problem. We had Dr. Paul Craig Roberts on a few days ago, and he's gone from saying, I don't know if we're going to have dollar death and a depression, to, yes, we're going to have it. The question is it a year from now or 5 years from now? And he said it's going to be road warrior. He said it's going to be what Gerald Celenti's saying. He's saying under the current course the establishment's under, and he said there's almost no way to get off of that, even if they tried, that it will be Middle Ages like. That's pretty scary coming from somebody listed as one of the top 7 economists in the world by Forbes.
Well, I've been writing about it since 1968 in that particular venue. And so has Ned Griffin, and so did Gary Allen, and so did Alan Stang, and with the films and records done by Anthony Hilder. And so to us it's nothing new, but to everybody else it is. And yes, that distinct possibility exists. And that's why when people ask, what do? You go out and get dehydrated and freeze-dried foods, you get a filter, and you find something that you can use to defend your family, because it could get that nasty. And if you got money left over, you go out and buy gold and silver coins. And if you get lots more money, you buy gold and silver stocks.